I met a girl at a concussion clinic about 6 months ago. As we were talking, she told me how she got there. A soccer match about a year ago. She hit her head really hard and had to be taken out. She didn't want to miss out on the rest of her season, so she lied to her mom about the symptoms in order to get back and play again, even though she was not fully healed. In the next game, she went up for a ball and slammed her head on the goalpost, sustaining her second concussion in under 3 weeks. It caused permanent damage to her brain. This had happened over a year ago, and she had not yet returned to school. She could no longer learn new things due to the new acquired learning disability. She had been to doctors ever since to try to help her, but nothing seemed to work. She sometimes even forgot how to do simple things at home, like make a sandwich. She really changed the way I looked at concussions, and after telling you this story, you would think that concussions receive a lot of attention. But believe it or not, these injuries are not taken very seriously. Today I will inform you about what concussions are and how they affect an individual, concussions in sports, and then what is being done to take these injuries more seriously. First of all, concussions are very dangerous injuries. They are a type of traumatic brain injury which results from the brain itself being quickly moved back and forth inside the head. According to the Center for Disease Control, these brain injuries result from a bump, blow, or jolt to the head that disrupts the way the cells in the brain normally work. The amount of time required for recovery depends on the severity of the injury. During recovery, the Mayo Clinic explains several symptoms. These include headache or feeling pressure in the head, temporary loss of consciousness, confusion or feeling like you're in a fog, amnesia surrounding the traumatic event, which sometimes prevents people from remembering what happened or how they hit their head. Other symptoms can be dizziness or seeing stars, ringing in the ears, nausea or vomiting, slurred speech, and fatigue. According to the Sports Concussion Institute, in professional football players, concussions have been linked to depression and dementia several years after the initial injury, as well as causing mental impairments. On average, it takes children, teens, and elderly longer to recover from brain trauma. These injuries can happen in many different circumstances, whether it be at a work site, sporting event, or even at home, and they can happen to anyone. The Kennedy Krieger Institute has found that children and adolescents who sustain multiple concussions tend to take longer to recover each time and are more likely to experience lingering symptoms and lifelong physical, cognitive, and psychological problems. Adults often show similar symptoms, but they may be harder to detect in children because their behavior is still developing. Now for athletes. A study done by the Department of Neurological Surgery found that in sports alone, about 300,000 concussions occur every year, and that averages to about 1,000 a day and a little over 40 an hour. Professional football has started to conduct more detailed tests to better measure damage done to the brain. However, other sports don't receive this attention, and many high schools and colleges don't even give official tests. An article by the Department of Neurological Surgery says that due to there being no widely accepted evidence-based tests that coaches and athletic trainers can use to be sure an athlete is fully recovered, many athletes return to contact activities far too soon. There have been many steps taken towards taking concussions more seriously. One of these steps is the administration of a baseline concussion test. A baseline test is administered at the beginning of a sports season to assess the athlete's abilities when he or she is healthy. The Sports Concussion Institute describes the baseline test as a usually computer-based neurocognitive test that measures various aspects of brain functioning, including memory ability, reaction time, informational processing speed, and impulse control. Coaches and athletic trainers have also extended the time that an athlete must refrain from contact activities after concussion. This gives he or she more time to more fully recover. In conclusion, these are very dangerous injuries and are not given enough attention. No one is told to go out and run on a broken leg because it is obvious that they will not succeed and most likely cause more damage, potentially even permanent. However, people with concussions are sent back to their daily routines all the time as if nothing has ever happened. I hope you all learned something about what concussions are, how they affect people, and how they hopefully will begin to be taken more seriously. And by the way, I saw that girl at the concussion clinic again a few weeks ago, and she didn't even remember who I was, let alone the conversation we had just months before.